This is an article in the Wall Street Journal that has been widely panned as a hit piece. Trump trashed it, denied about it. It has to do with Epstein's 50th birthday, and his buddies were contacted to say, can you send a little card, we'll put it in a little book, and give it to Jeffrey for his 50th birthday. One of those contacted was Donald Trump. So the Wall Street Journal headline reads as follows. Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him bawdy, B-A-W-D-Y, letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Articles called it a leather-bound item assembled before Epstein was first arrested back in 2006. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the journal, quote, is bawdy, like others in the album. I'm quoting them now. It contains several lines of typewritten text, not handwritten, typewritten text, framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. Quote, this is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. Not my language. It's not my words. End of quote. He told the Journal if it publishes the article, which they did, he's going to file a lawsuit. Now, before I continue with this very long article in the Wall Street Journal, a few things. A lot of people are shocked that this appears in the Wall Street Journal. You shouldn't be. There's a book that came out several years ago by a former professor at UCLA, now a professor at George Mason University, named Tim Grosclose. He's a friend of mine. And he examined the top 20 sources of news back then. 18 were to the left, one of which was the Wall Street Journal. Now, that may shock people. It certainly is true that the Wall Street Journal editorial page is conservative, but not its news page. The book found that the Wall Street Journal news page was just as left-wing as the Los Angeles Times or the New York Times. The difference is its editorial page. So it does not surprise me that something like this would appear in the Wall Street Journal. It may surprise people that don't read the Wall Street Journal, but when you read the Wall Street Journal, just as left-wing on the news side as the LA Times or the New York Times. Now, the article continues. The existence of the album and the contents of the birthday letters haven't been previously reported. In other words, we got a scoop. The album had poems, photos, and greetings from business people, academics, Epstein's former girlfriends, and childhood pals, including, according to the documents reviewed by the Journal, and people familiar with them. Now, notice a couple of things. Not a single name given, people familiar with them, anonymous sources, and it says the book was put together by a guy named Herbert Weitz. Weitz died in 2020. Listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2023. Quote, it isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. I repeat, it isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared, but let's put it in anyway. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note, not handwritten, typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. And it goes on to gives you that thing. It goes on to say this, quote, Trump and Epstein spent time together in the 1990s and early 2000s and were photographed at several social events, including with Maxwell and Melania Trump. Maxwell meaning Ghislaine Maxwell, the one who's now in prison. A 1992 tape from the NBC archives, continues the article, shows Trump partying with Epstein at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Trump is seen pulling a woman toward him and patting her behind. Trump, along with others including Clinton, also appeared several times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet. A 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein quoted Trump, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side, no doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Close quote. The article continues, both men said they subsequently had a falling out. Trump has said their friendship ended before Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008, served time in a Florida jail, and registered as a sex offender. When Epstein was arrested again in 2019, continues the article, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. Quote, "I knew him like everybody else in Palm Beach knew him. I was not a fan of his, I can tell you that." Close quote. Trump's spokesperson told Journal in 2023 that Trump had banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club at some point without elaborating at what point. The article also says this, and I'm nearing the end of it, so stay with me. Epstein's association with Trump and many powerful people have been well documented. There remains questions about what the FBI possesses about Epstein and his well-connected friends. And then the article says, in June 2024, Trump was asked in a Fox News interview whether he would release the Epstein files. He said, "Yeah, I would." The issue took on new life, says the Wall Street Journal, when Elon Musk, amid his feud with Trump, alleged that the FBI was withholding documents in the FBI case because Trump was in the files. Quote, "The truth would come out," Musk wrote on X, as everybody knows. That's the article. Now, a couple things. Everybody knows that Trump was a playboy. This is well before his marriage to Melania. And someone did a chat GTP AI searched, GPT, to find out how often Trump uses the word enigma, which is in this letter. And out of all the 20 decades and decades and decades of private life and then public life, Donald Trump has never, ever used the word enigma. When we come back, the Washington Post, of all places, says Donald Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. We having fun yet?
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.